We've got ignition. 1. We've got RIP to the takeoff. RIP to the takeoff. Welcome to another live edition, pre-Bears edition of Mouthpiece Included. This is a place where we do talk politics. It's an obvious fusion of sports and politics. This is your co-host, 9 Millie, one of the magnificents. Got some feedback here. Thanks for your presence, as always. The NFL has been facing criticism for years. Lots of it coming from this direction, from me personally, for its lack of diversity in leadership positions, especially among team presidents and GMs. Pursuant to this fact, we've covered coaches. We've done coaches in the past, but pursuant to that fact, I had actually stopped watching the National Football League, sans the Chicago Bears. It's an addiction I've had since childhood, so good, bad, and different, win or loss, I'm going to bear down and, get on with it. Grit my teeth and bear it. See what I did there? Bear it. But despite having a majority of players who are folks of color, the NFL has struggled to reflect that diversity in its decision-making roles traditionally. According to the league's 2021 Diversity and Inclusion Report, only 12.6% of head coaches, 12.1% of team CEOs and presidents, and 6.5% of GMs, and 13.7%. I need to extend that. Sorry about that, people. There we go. And 13.7% of team vice presidents were people of color in 2020. In today's show, we're going to go ahead and unpack these issues. We'll discuss the benefits and challenges of having a more diverse and inclusive leadership in the National Football League and what that potentially means for the future of the league and the sport many Americans, love so much. Also, of course, we'll have our takes on some of the week's hotly, on the weekly hot topics. And maybe we'll pick a booger for you, booger of the week. Never any time. We got the Bears coming on shortly. So stand down, stand back, stand by, pull up. But if you do pull up, do not forget to bring your mouthpiece. So if you're going to pull up, the link is pinned in the chat. You can call or text the troll-free number, 424-900-6945. Once again, that's 424-900-6945. That number's typed in the chat as well. All right, let's hop to it. I'm going to start with some weekly sports RIPs. So rest up, Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight has transitioned into the next realm. So condolences to his family. And, it's probably too soon, but I wonder if they buried him with that chair he flung across the room across the court at the opposing players. But pretty good coach, worked his players to the ground. So, he preached defense, motion, did a lot for the game of basketball. Don't know what was in his heart, but we're going to let him rest up. Today's topic, though, is how the NFL has diversified its portfolio, plus hot weekly sports topics. This is an open panel, so you can feel free to pull up. That link is pinned in the chat. Make sure you can also call or text troll free. So we're gonna skip right over baseball. I think it's the World Series going on now. World Series. Don't know. Didn't do any research on it. For some reason, personally, could care less. I'll do some soul searching there because baseball was huge in my life. So, of the week. I took some time to go over this in my mind, and from last week I had to go with Jalen Never Hurts. Jalen Never Hurts. He bounced back from the previous week where they suffered their first loss, put his team back on the top of the NFL record-wise. I believe Big Ace picked them to get to the Super Bowl. I got Dallas I got Dallas and the Bills. We'll discuss who's going to win that Super Bowl game at some point later in the show. Got Big Diesel stepping in the building. TATN. D's, what's good, Brody?
What's good?
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. I watched the all game highlights of USC and Washington. Yo boy, Michael Penix, and up against Caleb. Bro, yeah, it was good to be able to see them up against each other. And let me tell you something, man. I hadn't seen Penix. Let me tell you something, man. Dude's got a cannon. He puts you in the mind of a melanated, what's the guy's name, plays for Drop Dead Gorgeous quarterback, plays for Buffalo?
Josh Allen.
Yes, a bigger, stronger, more athletic. I don't know, I want to say better arm, but every bit as good. And
he's more accurate. He's more accurate to me than Josh Allen. It's funny because I watched that whole game too. Because I made a bet while the game was going on Washington, because they were going back and forth. I ended up winning. But Penix, see, the thing with Penix, though, is he's a pocket passer. He doesn't, he can move in the pocket, but as far as like mobility and running, because he messed up his knee real bad at Indiana. I'm surprised he kept playing after that.
So he went in the portal. He went to Indiana originally.
Yeah, he was at Indiana. I remember watching him against Illinois, Michigan, all of them.
Yeah,
and they just didn't have him in the same kind of offense. So that really makes a difference. People don't be believing it, but that offense they had him playing at Indiana, it wasn't not fitting him. No, he got to Washington. And when they said, "Oh, Michael Penix," I was like, "Man, I thought I knew that name from somewhere before." And then it was like, "That's the dude who used to be at Indiana," because I know he was a lefty. Man,
he's a lefty. I forgot to mention that. And he's a southpaw.
He took off. He got to Washington last year, and I was like, "Man, dude looks a lot better than he did at Indiana." Then I started putting it all together. I said, "Okay, the system is different. He got better receivers and stuff. So he's
everything."
Yeah, he's legit. Now, here's the difference, though, because I watched that whole game. That Caleb Williams, though, man, he got Holmes-type things with him. Like when the plays ain't there,
the off script.
Yeah, like man.
50% of it is off script.
Yeah, that improvising stuff, man, I'm like, good God almighty. I was like, man, this dude improvises.
And he's accurate.
Better. Yeah, he's accurate. Now, the only thing with the improvising type quarterbacks when they're young like that is we can't see the whole field. So we can't see unless we watch somebody who break down the game. Was it a guy open on their regular route? Was it another guy open on their regular? We can't see
I know what you're saying. Because like Johnny Manziel, he looked all great running around, putting up all those big numbers, and they don't always translate into the league. However, if you can get you an offensive coordinator that,
Yeah, if he was busy if he's doing those improv plays because guys aren't open on their initial routes,
then it makes sense.
Then
Yeah,
it makes
yeah.
all the sense in the world, and it would be extremely hard to pass him up if that's the case. Even though I think he's a little bit in his own world, but Michael Penix, I mean, he'd be a good discount kind of quarterback to get. You know what I mean? I don't see him going like in the top 5. You know what I mean? Maybe not
you
even the
don't?
top. No,
Oh
no,
man,
not in
please.
the top 5. No, they're gonna
What?
trust, bruh.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
They're gonna find other people to
find something to ruin his stock. Yeah, he hurt his knee in Indiana.
put up before him. You know what I mean? So
he got a speeding ticket on his way to the combine.
something, yeah. He'll go. He should go anywhere between 5 and 15, somewhere
Bro, he's
in there.
top 5.
Somewhere
he's going top 5. He's going top 5. Well, I'm telling you, bro.
I don't
he's
think
going
so,
top 5.
Look, you got to remember they're gonna take Williams. Gonna go top 5, and probably that dude from North Carolina that they keep talking about him. So that's two. That's two right there, right?
Right.
They don't even mention Penix when you talk about top quarterbacks.
Hey, they're gonna mention him now. His team is ranked 5 before that win, and they're gonna go up. You know,
but I just I see him going somewhere between 5 and 15. But no, it was a good game, man. It was a real good game. But yeah, that dude Williams, man, he got Mahomes like instincts and stuff. And like I said, as long as the improvising that he's doing is based on his receivers not being open, then he's the real deal. Now, if it's based on him not just wanting to throw the ball and they open, you know what I'm saying? That's a different thing you have to work on. But my God, man, he was, whoo.
I'm impressed by both of them.
Both of them.
Who was your quarterback of the week this past week? Black QB in the NFL.
For the NFL, oh man, I had to remember too.
I had Hurts.
Is it Hurts that I had? It was Hurts or Jackson, but I think it was Hurts because I think he had he had was it like 4 touchdowns?
Something
like
Jackson
that.
was my runner-up.
Yeah,
they both had good bounce back games.
Yeah, I think it was Hurts because I was like, okay, he actually played really, really good this week. Really good.
Well, I can't argue with that. Let's go ahead and push forward. Today's topic is how the NFL has diversified its portfolio. We're going to go through some NBA right now. Our WemBP, the big croissant, Wembanyama, I'm on record saying he's going to receive MVP votes this season. And he put up 38 large versus Phoenix. He beat Durant and Phoenix like twice already. Y'all ready to come on board? He's going to receive some MVP votes, WemBP votes, bro.
I mean, he might get a couple of votes, but again, my thing is, I think he can get defensive MVP. He can actually win it. You know,
you talking about defensive player of the year?
Yeah, that's what I can say MVP, but defensive player of the year. I think he can win it. You know, he'll have to compete with
him and AD. Him and AD are front run. AD is balling defensively.
Nah, I like Giannis play better D than AD. Man. AD is too streaky with his D.
I mean, so far this season though. I'm just going by the stats this season.
When he plays, he's right there, top 1, 2, or 3. Defensively, but he don't play all
defensive rebounding, the blocking shots, and you know what I mean. Well, you know they got to keep him engaged. You got LeBron running around there with his big ego. You know what I mean? And you got to keep AD engaged. If I was LeBron, I'd be trimming his unibrow before every game. You'd see me around the sideline.
They can't win on the road. I mean, they in the 3 games they had at home, I think them games was like close to like the fourth quarter. And I think I looked yesterday. I was like, they ain't won on the road yet. Then they got blasted by the Magic yesterday.
Yeah, blasted.
So I'm like, yeah, that's
and they was ready to crown him on ESPN before that game. Your boy Big Perk. Oh man, Big Perk and his takes. I swear he's a I can't even watch him and Stephen A no more.
and this is what I don't get. It's like these guys, some of them, I ain't saying all of them, like they don't watch the games.
They
Like
don't. The national
watch
pundits don't. They don't, bro. Go ahead. They don't.
if you
They don't.
watch those games, like I watched like two of them three games that the Lakers had at home because they be
Uh,
always televising them, and I was like, okay, they had to turn the game around in like the fourth quarter. They were on the verge of losing, and they ain't turning around in the fourth quarter. So I'm like, okay, that's not equating when you're on the road. It's going to be a lot tougher when you're on the road as opposed to when you're at home. So I was like, man, they crowning them already. They not seeing what's really going on out there on that thing. So some of them players that
bro, they don't watch the games, man. I'm
no,
sorry. They
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 don't.
they don't. And it's sad. Like they should assign like games. I understand they probably can't watch them all, but they can. They ain't doing shit else. But assign some games like, okay, you're gonna be commenting on this and this. You know, you're gonna be in this segment. We need you to watch this game and that game. Because all they doing, bro, is going to local media, listening to what those guys are parroting, and then trying to repeat it to the best they can and getting hot takes. But I can tell you, like you said, Diesel, that in any sport, if you watch the game and you listen to someone talk about it, you'd be like, this motherfucker didn't even watch the game.
No, you'd be like, what are they talking about? Did they see what I seen?
They didn't even watch. They couldn't have possibly watched the damn game.
Yeah, they I think they just watch like highlights. They'll watch
Yeah,
highlights and start commenting. Now I say this, like Stephen A. Smith, he'll admit, like, hey, I didn't see the game. I only
yeah,
caught the highlights. He's one of the few that'll admit that he didn't see the game or whatever. He only seen highlights. And if he seen the game, usually he was at the game to
yeah.
see
Stephen A. be working. He was probably working an overnight shift at Home Depot that week. You know, he won all the money.
Yeah, but I don't get how they can. Yeah, I guess it's different now, man. When they used to, you know how they used to assign a person in the city or whatever, or even for whatever their national media thing is to cover a team, and they would watch. They used to watch those games that they play all the time, and it's like, what do these people be looking at when they talking about this stuff? Like, hmm.
Big Perk shouldn't even have a job.
He
Hey,
go too
hey,
much on his feelings for as
oh
opposed to
man, he'll
what you
come out.
see.
Somebody have a good game in a regular season game. This is the best big dog combo ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember he was saying that about the Beard and the big center in Philly. He was saying that when they had him, they
Yeah,
first started getting
Embiid and
together. Yes, yes. A creeper said, "Told you when Bilbo Bajan had to pass, he would be poop last week." You know, you can't put it all on Bajan, but one thing, and we're going to get there, creeper. We're not in NFL yet, but we will, put a pin in this. We're going to get back to this because I do want to address something. But now he also said to declare a person the basketball GOAT, you have to watch the game. This way you can spot BS in game like LeBron. Yeah, stat padding, meaningless stats. Like if you didn't watch the Cubs, you'd be like, Sammy Sosa was black. And then you'll look at him now and you'll be like, wait a minute, he's white? You know what I'm saying? Like, Sammy Sosa had the most meaningless stats. I'm a Cubs fan. I was watching those games. He was steroiding up, allegedly, juicing up, and he had the most meaningless home runs. Whenever you needed him to do something, he never did it, bro.
Strikeouts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's in the big three sports. I mean, you see it a lot where guys who you'd be like, man, okay, we lost the game 5-1. He hit a homer in the ninth inning while we were already losing. That was meaningless.
Meaningless. He always was hitting them solos. He never could hit nothing with somebody with his own base.
Something to that effect, Now I say this though, like a couple of them years where he hit 60, they was some meaningful ones because a lot of them was in the. You can go pull them. You can pull up his homers. Them 3 years, I think that he hit 3 different years where he hit like 60 home runs, and they were like all a lot of them were in eighth, ninth inning, 2 and 3 run homers. Man, he did some damage in them 3 years where he got some where he was breaking them records, man.
Man, I'd rather have Chief Keef out there. They be my Sosa than this guy. But big ups to Sammy Sosa. You know what I mean? He's got reverse
What you
vitiligo.
always say, I like to hit a home run.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so I want to we want to pick our NBA champion. We've already narrowed it down. So I'm going with Denver. Yeah, I've been, toying with predicting him, been giving him big ups the last 3 seasons because I believe in continuity, if you got something good. So I'm going with Denver in the pinch. Who
Too
you
early.
got? Too early.
Too early. I can't pick.
Based upon what you know now.
I can't. I don't know enough. I haven't watched enough of the different teams. I got to see more of them. You don't get to see all the teams all the time.
Somebody paid your parlay and asked you to go on a whim and said, look, I'll place this bet for you. Who are you going with? It's not even your money. Or your mom asked for advice. Well, you'll probably
this
tell
why
her.
I wouldn't pick anything, but I would on a whim I'd say Boston. I ain't that strong on them.
I expected them to look good, but I haven't watched them. I saw highlights, in all fairness. But they look better than what I thought they would look.
Well, I knew Drew Holiday can play. So he basically replaced Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
So he was really the second best dude on the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. And the Bucks are realizing that.
Yeah. Because just him and Dame, Giannis and Dame, it ain't working. Because Dame don't play defense like old boy did.
Mm-hmm. And he's not a general.
Right. And then you lost more pieces to that Bucks team. The Bulls got one of their guards, and I seen Grayson Allen. He's in like Phoenix or something. So
Grayson Allen's a thug. Speaking of the Bulls, no, never mind. Go ahead. We're not going to talk about the Bulls today.
Yeah, please, man. I told you. Every time you get your hopes up high, it's the same thing.
We're not going to talk about them, man. But they got this preseason meaningless tournament going on. This mid-season meaningless tournament. But we were so you won't pick the finals. That's cool. So let's go ahead and push on. Well, you did say Boston if you had to. How the NFL has diversified its portfolio. Let's go ahead and jump to the NFL. I only watched the first half of that Chargers game.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave up on it. I was like, this, But I heard they looked a little better in the second half. So, go ahead and give me your review on that last game. We got people in the chat talking about Bilbo Bajan. It's all his fault.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's just a bad. They're just a bad team. It's just not a good team. Period. The Bears are not a good football team. Okay, so
man, they find ways to lose. They manufacture a different way to lose. Go ahead, bro.
They get no calls. Things that they should get called, they don't. They get called for everything that you can call on them
for years. There needs to be an investigation in NFL. We need to do a show on that. But go ahead.
You got people like so you don't help out a rookie quarterback dropping a fucking touchdown wide open in the end zone, man. The dude should have been the dude. If it was somebody a different, like 10 other NFL coaches would have cut Velus Jones.
If Velus, he's like a 25-year-old second-year player. If Velus, so he's a lot more mature in life for me to be expecting him to be flubbing like this. But if Velus was not a Poles guy, he'd have been gone. If he was a pace guy, Poles would have been got rid of.
Yeah, because it's not just that one play. He's got all kinds of fumbles and different things that he's done since he's been with the Bears that's just like, okay, dude, you dropping wide open touchdowns at a significant part of the game. Badgett, you can't get overly excited for him because, again, he's still a rookie. and he's only you kind of go to what the offense puts you in. So what are they putting them in? What are they putting them in to try to succeed, right? Um, Shit, I didn't see them really try to like make an effort to run the ball. And it's not just when we say run the ball, it's how you try to run the ball. What are you calling for your run plays
Man,
and when?
man.
On what downs are you
And
calling?
how are they paired with your passing formations? Correct.
Exactly.
You know, you can't be in a fullback, I formation and you run for 8 yards, and then the next fucking play you got no backs.
Nothing back there. They'll start. This is what I don't get. They'll start a game off going 4 wide, 3 wide, no running back there in the shotgun and shit like that. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? I don't mind if you're gonna pass on first down because the team's gonna think you're gonna run the ball, but get up under center and do a
Get
play
up
action or something.
under center and do a play action. Correct.
It's like, man, it's like they just
Well,
overall from the
Creep
top to bottom, they're a bad
Creeper
football
agrees with
team.
you in the chat, bro. He said Boston is up. He says Boston's going to win a chip. Bears QB is a rookie, and he looked terrible. If a pass game gets planned, he not ready. But tight end commit, he was 10 for 10. So what I want to say about this, Diesel, is one thing I've noticed, and if I had time, I would have gotten footage because I've been talking about the narratives. I've been talking about this, bro, since late 80s. I've been able to hear it forever. The bias, that Collinsworth fucking dude, you heard all that shit he was talking on the
Oh
national
yeah,
platform. He's
oh
getting
yeah.
feedback. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he went off again. He don't watch the Bears. You could tell he ain't never watched a Bears game in 2-3 years to be talking the way he was talking. But there's an agenda. But what I noticed, Diesel, and I'll throw it to you. It's funny how the Score and all those other networks, to your point, I agree with everything you said about Beijing and not a good team. I find it real funny or coincidental that all these national networks and the local meatheads can say after that loss, well, this isn't Beijing's fault. I mean, he could have played better, but the team is bad. Same thing you just said. It's the same shit when Justin Fields is out there. But they're not able to, they just, they come out and it's all about Justin. Well, Justin didn't play good, and Justin. And they ignore all of the blown coverages, all of this and that. You just got to move on from Justin. If you want to move on from Justin, that's fine. But you're going to scapegoat JF1. But then when the rookie goes out there, you got a whole, you can see. Now you can see. Here's somebody who's, that all the other problems. But so if you want to comment on that, then we'll move on to Sweat.
Yeah, so they'll it's almost like I told you, I'm almost to the point where some of these football games, I almost like to just mute the game and watch it.
Cut the volume down, man.
Because if you listen to them, they try to paint these pictures where, okay, so if he plays well, this is what we're going to build the story around. And you can hear that on every game. They
have a narrative. They're coming into with a narrative from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they want to say, like, I know for the rookie, they want to be like, hey, listen, this is just a great story. They were ready to compare him to like Kurt Warner's story from where he came up like that. And
fine, but you throwing Justin under the bus and never mentioned that the man was injured. They make it sound like he just got benched for this guy.
Yeah, it was totally
it was disrespectful, man.
They but they do that, bro. It's like every game that you
watch,
but
he went over the top. Like he actually got pushback from the Score. The Score, in my opinion, they're racist. I don't know what's in their heart, but even the Score was like livid about. But it was they was livid about how that narrative, and Mike Tirico tried to clean it up at the very end. At the very end, he was like, "Well, Justin will be back in the next week or two." They were sitting here like Justin was benched for this dude.
Yeah, no. He was hurt. He was hurt. They wasn't gonna bench. They wasn't gonna bench Justin Fields unless he had like two super bad games, like maybe one of the games he had earlier in the year. Now, if he'd have had like two more real bad games,
Yeah, if he
then
wouldn't
he
have had
might.
those two great ones. Right,
Right,
right.
right, and that's what he does is he'll do that stuff with a real good game, and he'll mess with your head, and then he'll do a stinker. And you're like, well, what the hell do
He's
we really
he's
got
he's
here?
streaky, but so is our offensive line. You know what I mean? When they
Well,
going good, they going good.
I don't even think it's that our line is streaky. I think it's the fucking coordinators and they dumbass calling, which makes them streaky. Because if you kept calling the same kind of stuff that you did consistently when we win,
Man, call the
then,
stuff. At least show it. Yes, call the
then we
stuff
could
that works. Yes,
then we could say, hey, that line is bad because we seen them play those same kind of calls before and they did real good. Now they're doing better. But we don't get to see it because they start calling 4 or 5 wide what he really wants to do as opposed to what they're really good at. So yeah, man.
well,
It's
I knew we was in trouble, man. When Getsy preseason was saying, they was like, one of the media was like, yeah, how's the offense look, another year into it. Well, they're young guys and, they're getting it. We're putting in a whole lot of new stuff. And I'm like, man, y'all got a young damn team. Work on this shit that you already put in until it's, you know what I mean? And ads, you spending all the off season coaching against yourself instead of let's clean up these plays that work. Let's make sure we got our identity. And that's what everybody expected. And then you come out the first thing, well, we're trying to find our identity. You found your identity last year, you goofball.
see, their problem is Getsy and them is you got other teams with whole new coaches, coordinators,
Rookie quarterback.
players, and they
Man.
playing way better than our team.
Man.
Look way better than them. Even if
Man.
they losing, they look better than us.
Man.
So you can't keep, this is that what did did Jerry Glanville tell that referee that one time they had them clips for the NFL? He said, do you know what the NFL stands for? He said, well, he said, not for long if you make another damn call like that. And that's what it's gonna be for these guys. You ain't gonna be here long. You're gonna have to go and keep calling that stuff like that. So yeah, it's
Hey,
just
so do you think Sweat was brought in like the way we're, monitoring Fields to see if we're going to stay with him? Do you think Poles brought in Sweat specifically to find out what he's got in Flus?
nah,
To
they
evaluate
defense.
Flus?
I don't think so. I think we just need Sweat a good player. We need players on our defense to help.
And they
yeah,
signed him. And they signed him.
yeah. You had to. You can't give up a 2 to take him. I would have preferred him give him a 3, but if you had to give him a 2, okay. Now you got to sign.
Man.
A 2
And
means you got to sign.
Man, we should have got them both because they gave up Young for a 3. I'd have gave him a 2 and a 3 and brought in Sweat and
But,
Chase Young.
but Young, they Young got some his knee and I think it's his hip or something.
That's all right. For a 3, that's all right.
No, but the Bears looked at him. They were gonna get him.
I know.
And then they went through his medical and they was like,
Man, for a 3, I would have brought them both in. With our defensive line we got,
I'd have brought in Young if you could have gave him a 4 and another 4 or 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? Like two picks. I'd have gave him 2 back picks, either 4th round or later. But I wouldn't have gave him a 3 or more, just because. He kind of stay hurt, bro.
He does.
And then he gonna want money. He gonna want money. So it's like I'd rather pay Sweat than him.
We got 9 minutes before kickoff. So we got 5 minutes. So we're gonna jump on the topic. But Bears quarterback is a rookie. Okay, I'm in the chat. Creeper said it do take time, but overall he not bad for 2 games. The NFL don't block for nothing, no matter what team you own, and even Mahomes run out of pocket. Adjust your game for wins and embrace your Lamar-type skill sets. Justin can pass very well. His accuracy is up there. New England teaches their team to block the correct way, even on a so-called pro level. That's why Brady had all day. Teach how to block with consistency. Also, they grounded and pounded much of Brady's career until he had been in the league for some time in that offense. Teach the basics, even the fundamentals, even on a pro level. So yeah, I would say, man, go ahead and ink Jalen Johnson, and all three of us picked. All three of the hosts picked the. No, I
I
got
would have
that
traded
wrong.
Johnson. I don't. I
Oh, I'm
think.
sorry.
I think Johnson. He's too slow. I've watched him. You know who he fit real good in? Lovey Smith's scheme, a cover two. But he can't.
Yeah,
I watched him. He gets burnt by guys. They don't always throw them the ball, but he gets burnt by guys who can run a route and
but
got
that's gonna
speed.
happen. But by PFF, he's a top rated
But
corner.
yeah, because they keep picking on the rookie on the other side. But you see what I'm saying? So it's a
Yeah,
little
but you,
bit. It's a
man,
little bit.
I don't know how much he's asking, man. But you got you.
I
We
wouldn't.
can't keep. You
I would
can't
have traded him.
rebuild by letting all your good players go. You eventually you got to start signing them.
I think he's over. I'm just saying, just me. I think he's overrated for what he's going to be. He's going to get more money than what he's really worth.
I got you.
So
I
I
got
wouldn't
you.
want to pay
So
him.
Ace this week said the Bears gonna win 27-24. Diesel picked the Saints 24-17. I picked the Aints 21-20 over the Bears. So we're
Saints
moving
got a
along.
good defense, so they're gonna probably give Bilbo some hell.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And no, I was gonna say, and I did have the Chargers last week too.
Right. We didn't discuss it, but I assumed you'd have had the Chargers, and we gave everybody a Bears victory for that. You know, we'll get that lined up. So, real quick, bro. We've been beefing about the NFL diversity, but I'm showing that they have, bro, made some strides. And if I'm gonna point out the negatives, the league didn't even have its first black president until the Commanders hired Jason Wright in August 2020. Kevin Warren, Bears, Sashi Brown, Baltimore Ravens, Sandra Douglas Morgan, Vegas Raiders, Damani Leach, Denver Broncos. These are black presidents in the league, so big ups. And then the GMs, 8 of the last 13 general manager openings going to people of color. Andrew Berry from Cleveland, 2020. Brad Holmes, Detroit, putting that thing together. Cleveland looks good. Detroit, 2021. Terry Fontenot, Atlanta, 2021. ATL's looking better than the Bears. Martin Mayhew, Washington, 2021. And, of course, Ryan Poles, Chi-Town. Omar Khan, Pittsburgh. So, yeah, what's your take on this as we, go to our final words, bro?
As far as the upper management part, yeah, they're making some strides with that.
Yeah.
But the big thing is the ownership, bro.
It's only one non-white owner, but he's not black.
Yeah, and it's like they keep it as a like a good old boys network.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all a conglomerate, and when an owner passes, it's usually left to their family, right? So you pretty much can never get in there unless you get an owner who's just totally off kilter and says, "Hey, I'm leaving this to," or say 50% of this company to like maybe one of his favorite coaches or players. That's different. You know what I'm saying?
Or you inherited your team from your family and it's worth $4 billion and somebody offered you $7 billion. It's like, take it. I don't love this.
Right. So to me, here's what would be because it got to be the super top down, right? Because ultimately the owner's gonna make all them real decisions. They may say it's the GM, but no.
Well, it depends on the owner. It depends. Some owners,
on the owner, but you got the most of them. The majority of them, they got their hands in.
Yeah, it's they treat it like a hobby.
Yeah, they
it's like fantasy football. It's fantasy football for them.
Yeah, so I would like to see when they do an expansion, because pretty soon they're going to get another team, maybe 2 more teams. Them 2 teams, they should be sold to minority owners. It shouldn't be no regular Johnny come latelys or whatever. No, the majority stakeholders, when they do an expansion team, it needs to be to minority owners. Period.
Yeah, I agree. And I 100% agree. The like blacks in this country is 13%. We're like 63% of the NFL. So I wouldn't expect, one thing I'll say about the league. okay, so say if you got McDonald's corporate, any major corporation, doctors, surgeons, is going to be less than 3% blacks. So the league is actually higher than your average major corporations on hiring blacks in these positions. In addition, teams must interview one external minority candidate for senior football operations and general manager jobs. I didn't know that was extended from the Rooney Rule. The NFL also created the NFL Diversity Advisory Committee, which consists of outside experts who review the league's diversity policies and practices. I think that's been helping. And I'm gonna throw it to you for your final words. But as far as progress, the NFL also hired the 4 general managers that I mentioned. These hires increase the number of people of color in head coaching and general manager positions to 16.7% and 18.8% respectively. So 18.8% of the GMs are black. So I mean, when you look at it based on a typical business in America, those numbers are high. And I just wanted to throw that out there. But go ahead with your final word so we can, kick it off.
Yeah, so I'll say this, like the NFL, like I said, they making some strides, but I don't want to see no tap dancing around it. Ownership. If there's how many teams? 32, 33, however many it is, I always forget. However many it is, not one black majority owner of any team.
Yeah, it should be at least 3, at least 3. It should be at least three black.
At least 3.
And we're not talking about from Nigeria.
Right. No, it should be more than that. So my thing is when you get an expansion, and there should be some expansion coming soon, at least 2 teams should be. Both of them should be minority owned. And you can call it discrimination as far as like, oh, well, that's some affirmative action type stuff. Well, we could call it discrimination based on how many owners you have in your league, which most of your employees are predominantly black. So I don't want to hear that stuff. If you're being diverse and you're making a difference, then that's what you do. Now, again, I'm talking about the
Big Ace is at the Saints game. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, is he? Oh,
yeah.
So he went down there to support them to get their butts whooped. All
yeah,
right,
he's not gonna get any footage. He's always out and about doing shit, just like Tory, but they never record and get footage for the channel.
Yeah, no, Ace is gonna be down there trying to eat some Cajun food. That's what he's gonna be doing.
Right, some bratwurst, pork ribs.
Yeah, but yeah. So I want to see some ownership out of the league. Let me see some ownership, more black coordinators, because that's the positions that make the coaches for the most part. Let's see more black coordinators, offense and defense, and then those guys end up being head coaches eventually, if they go by the norm that they've been going by the past like 20-something years. So, but yeah, on that note, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what they keep doing.
Hey, great final words, man. Bear down. I'll admit the league has come a long way. Their diversity PFF is actually higher than most major corporations in the United States. However, there's much room for improvement, to Dizzo's point, and challenges to overcome. The league still has only one minority owner, to your point, Shad Khan of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The NFL also faces a lawsuit still from former Miami Dolphins coach Brian Flores, who is black, although he has some sort of Hispanic name, alleging racial discrimination in hiring processes across the league. If you guys got any questions, comments, or feedback, feel free to drop a comment below. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay loyal to the Navy and Orange. FGB, bear the F down, and don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. At some point, we are going to cover Connor Bedard. I haven't researched it yet, but I'm fascinated that, we have a unicorn of such in hockey, something the city needs. So, I mean, I would actually come to the city and watch that kid play. I've never been to a Blackhawks game, and it's, on my bucket list. Whenever the self-love show re-ups.
I used to keep up with him too. But I ain't been to a Hawks game either. But
yeah, man, hockey is intense, man. Hockey is like, it's intense. Like soccer, when you get into a game, man, that should be intense, man.
No, I watch them. I
And the
watch
Self Love
games,
Show, you know,
but I never been to one. So yeah,
it'd be intense. Self Love Show schedule may be changing due to work conflict. We'll let you guys know, but whenever we re-up, it's going to be our Black Health series continuing, and we got Hot Tub Tory as our special guest. We're talking about hot tub therapy. We might be able to get Wheezy on this show. He likes to go to the bathhouse, so we're going to talk about blacks in the bathhouse. We're going to unpack that whenever that show comes back. So, you got any final comments there, Dees?
nah, not really, man. Just let's see what happens on this NFL Sunday, man. Let's see what happens.
Hey, what's going on in that KC game?
It's over. KC won 21 to like 14.
Oh, it was balling, huh?
Yeah, they didn't score in the second half, but their defense, I told you, their defense is, people don't be giving them props for their defense, but their defense is top 5. It held Miami down, man. So I give them some credit. But I'm out, man. About to catch this Bears game. I'm out, y'all.
All right, bet down, bro. Appreciate you dropping by, man. Hey, if you find yourself sliding through Chicago, you might be out west on Laramie. Might be on the southeast side. Sliding down Stony. You might be out in Compton, Long Beach, Wood. Off on La Brea, Centauri. Gotta check your blind spot. Check your 6. Keep that head on a swivel.